There's a snowstorm going on outside. I couldn't even get out of my driveway if I wanted to. This book, Happiness, is a composition of all the various times where I talked about happiness. This goes back 25 years to the present. I hope you will reflect and ponder over what I'm presenting. I'm not trying to convince you or convert you. Happiness doesn't need convincing or converting. We all strive for happiness in our own unique way. This is what I have discovered for myself.
The ray of happiness. The quality or state of being happy, good fortune, pleasure, contentment, joy. In our Constitution, it says that we have the right to pursue happiness. Each and every one of us desires to be happy. We spend our entire life pursuing it. Happiness is like a rainbow in the sky. You can see the rainbow touching the ground, but as you get near the rainbow, it moves. Happiness is quite like that. It is always within our grasp. At times we can even hold it, but then it will disappear. We search for happiness everywhere. For some, I'll be happy when I'm out of middle school. I'll be happy when I graduate from high school. I'll be happy when I graduate from college. I'll be happy when I'm married. I'll be happy when I have kids. I'll be happy when I have a new boss. I'll be happy when I go on vacation. I'll be happy when I retire. We are always looking for happiness. We want that some external event will make us happy for the rest of our lives. We search for it and never quite find the Cinderella type happiness. The prince who we married ended up being someone who is imperfect, just like us. So where do we find happiness? Can we truly be happy and be involved with this world? Does true happiness exist? Is happiness a state of mind? If I become rich, will I truly be happy? Everyone equates happiness with money. You know, a lot of people who win the lottery spend all their money and lose it around 5 years. If you don't have money and a big sum is given to you without proper financial planning, you can lose it. For thousands of years, the great teachers have said that true happiness lies within. It does not exist in this world. Imagine at the time of your death, everything you own will be taken away. You can't bring any material possessions with you. Happiness is truly a state of mind. I've been to third world countries where the average poor person is selling something on the street. He has his entire family with him. Happiness is written all over his face. I've seen people who are super rich and their lives are miserable. Happiness truly comes from within. There's an internal well where one can drink and be filled with such happiness and joy. It is our true essence. Meditation brings us into that realm. Meditation is the key that unlocks the doors within. Imagine your true nature is infinite happiness, yet we spend our entire days lives looking in the wrong places. It is inside us all the time. At times, I see the majority of us are looking in the wrong place. We just need to redirect our attention within. From that well within, we can tap into the source and bring that happiness to the surface. Over time, it will start to fill up your life, both externally and internally. You will see for yourself that happiness exists everywhere. But do we have the eyes to see? It's only by refining ourselves over time do we see the beauty of life. In this state, we don't strive, if only I had this, if only I had that. Every moment you're drinking the nectar within. I'm not saying as soon as you start to meditate that all your problems will go away. This life is a journey. Each and every day, we take one step after another. Over time, by being aware and being self-empowered, we truly become happy. We realize that happiness is truly a state of mind. Nobody can take it away. As long as we strive to reach happiness externally, it will come and go. It's like the mirage that we see in the desert when you are thirsty. You see the image and you're happy because there is water. Yet when you walk up to it, it disappears. Many people may say, I'm happy, I don't need to go within and find it. That's great. We are saying something a little different. We are saying that the entire universe is comprised of happiness. By being aware of the force behind all life, you will become happy. You don't have to depend on some external event to trigger happiness. Your existence is happiness. By discovering your true nature, you will be happy. The ray of bliss. Supreme happiness, utter joy or contentment. The joy of heaven, paradise, the road to eternal bliss. A cause of great joy or happiness. Extreme happiness, ecstasy, the ecstasy of salvation, spiritual joy. When I was 18 years old, I was looking for someone who could teach me how to meditate. I began to read some books on the topic. Several of these books talked about bliss, and that was the first time I ever heard that word. I was quite fascinated by it. In these books, they talk about how human being can tap into his or her true existence and experience a supreme happiness that doesn't exist in this world. This state of being is called bliss. I read more books on the matter and I came upon this expression that truth is the consciousness of bliss. When the mind resides in truth, your awareness will be in bliss. I learned that through the law of silence is a road that one takes to the heavenly realm. Each time we meditate, we experience that bliss and bring it into our daily life. In essence, our life begins to change. We learn that bliss is the essence of life. It is our true nature. I call this process the evolution-revolution. It's an evolution in development, but at the same time period and this age, it's a peaceful revolution because your whole world starts changing dramatically. What you think is important drops away. I found out after many years that the goal was to be in a state of awareness in each and every moment of our lives. Through meditation, we dive into this bliss. But in order to make it practical, we need to bring this bliss into our daily lives. We need to be grounded. I must admit that when I first started to meditate, I escaped from this world. It was during the Vietnam War, and life was extremely confusing. I was young and really was trying to find myself. And looking back, I see that I wasn't mature and made a lot of mistakes and didn't have great judgment. I really wasn't grounded. Through the years, I learned that the goal is to be completely grounded on the earth. At the same time, your head is in heaven. I love the phrase, chop wood, carry water, because it reflects that we need to be practical. We need to learn how to live in this world and how to live in the center of a hurricane. We need to embrace life and everything it has to offer. In looking back, I wouldn't trade my experience for anything. As we grow older, we grow wiser and learn from our mistakes. The bliss that I encountered inside grows day by day and has morphed into more than an individual experience, where it's a global yearning for peace. I meditate for myself and for all sentient beings. In the beginning, I meditated just for myself. This is the maturing process of development. Personally, I feel that spiritual experience matures as we become more mature. In the beginning, we first learn how to meditate and experience this incredible bliss for our own personal reasons and growth. Somewhere along the way, we reach a place of maturity where our outlooks change. Instead of me, we change our perspective to be a oneness of all life. This is a dramatic shift. This makes all the difference in the world, not only on our own spiritual growth, but in our day-to-day existence. We live our lives to help this world become aware of who we truly are. In this state, this bliss that we felt when we meditated for ourselves changes and morphs to a deeper and deeper level. We become less egocentric and more human to the core. We start to embrace all these sacred laws. So I look back over the years and watch this incredible journey of life. I'm still young, but I see such growth and development. We truly need to help one another along this journey. We need to stop judging each other and inspire one another. We are all learning how to become better human beings. Each and every step we take is a learning phase, and a phase of growth. I still love to meditate a lot and dive inside my essence. Yet at the same time, I love life. I love to work and play. I love nature and taking walks. I love to write poetry. I learn to take my experience and make it manifest in my daily life. I used to escape from this world through meditation, and yet I'm still meditating. I'm no longer escaping. I embrace my life. My head is in heaven, and my feet is on the ground. I've been a software engineer for 27 years. I love my family. Life is spiritual. Life is a dance. We need to take off our blinders. Through silence, one can drink of this bliss and become one with all life. We become life, not to escape life. It's a divine paradox where by meditation, one can escape or embrace life itself. Both of these experience of bliss, but through maturity and understanding of wisdom, we transcend and change into something different. We become a humble human being. This is what life is all about. This is what true bliss is. You have nothing to prove or hide. You are authentic. You forgive and ask for forgiveness. You realize this life is a miracle. Truth is the consciousness of bliss. When you enter the silence that dwells within, your mind is transformed. Bliss is your true nature. When you experience the truth, your awareness will be in absolute bliss. The key to this kingdom lies inside. Open up your hearts and see what is keeping you alive. The ray of content. Dictionary.com. The state of being contented, satisfaction, ease of mind. The act of making continued satisfied. As we can see from the definition, the ray of contentment is a state of being where one is connected, has a deep level of satisfaction, and the mind is at ease. Our present-day lifestyle is so fast-paced that it doesn't allow us to truly sit down and smell the roses of life. So many people rush through life as there's no tomorrow. We train our kids to have so many activities that they hardly have time to just play around. Somehow, we got our minds, more is better. Most of us rush out the door and drink our coffee on the commute to work. We try to cram as much as we can during the day. Even our bosses are always looking for ways to give their employees more to do. To be honest, it's absolutely insane. The only way truly to be content is to be in the present moment of life. In this state, the mind is at ease. The mind is not agitated, and you're not in a state of dissatisfaction. For thousands of years, the great teachers have taught this. Only you can calm down the winds of your mind. The mind of humanity at times is howling. No wonder we are so unhappy. We go from one thing to another during our daily life, and nothing can quench one's thirst. It's always like we are ghosts and we're trying to get drunk on a bottle of whiskey. We can drink bottle after bottle and can't get drunk. The whiskey just runs through us. The ancient ones weren't crazy when they said we had to slow down. They saw the mental conditions of humankind. They were once in that state, yet through time and practice, they learned how to be content. They learned how to control their mind. So many people say, yeah, but I truly don't understand. As a society, we're so driven by where we are going. We're always looking for happiness and contentment outside of ourselves. It's like we're on this freeway and incredible scenery is all around. Yet, we are so busy getting to our destination, we never enjoy the ride. Every day, we just drive on the freeway of life. We go through the motions of living, yet we truly don't know the essence of life. In this state, we never reach our destination. Personally, I think that our entire society needs to learn the law of silence. We need to recharge our batteries every day and stop the endless chatter of mind. Meditation over time slows down the mind, and one begins to enter into a greater field of awareness. This awareness is peace of mind and contentment. You will still be super active, but by slowing down your mind, you will be accomplishing more in your life. Your mind and concentration will be like a laser. You will accomplish more with less effort. It's like we are running to stay in place. Imagine for most of us, we are on a treadmill of life. We are constantly running. We are running away from our problems. We are running to work. We are running away from our relationships. We are running back to home. We are running out for a bite to eat. A wise man just turns off the treadmill and calmly lives in the moment. It may seem like time has stopped for this person. In this state, one is beyond time and space. Whenever you need to get done, will be done. There's no state of having to do it now. I can see why the great samurai warriors of old developed a passion for tea ceremonies. This precious art teaches a person to truly live in the moment. The ceremony is quite long. It trains one not to look into the future or else boredom will occur. You can't look at the clock and say, when is this frickin' thing going to end? It can teach so much. A warrior may be as good at battle, yet has he conquered his mind. Anybody can fight yet is truly a wise man who has conquered his mind. The ancient Japanese warriors knew this, the tea ceremony, and many of their ancient practices were developed to train the mind. Imagine that you are a warrior. Most of us are road warriors, no matter what we do or where we came from. You need to conquer your mind. This is the ultimate thing that a human being can accomplish. This will lead to a pure mind. This is your true state of existence. These sacred laws were to turn your mind into gold. You are already gold, yet it needs to be purified. The baggage that we hold on must be released. This path is probably the most challenging thing we will ever do, yet at the same time, the most rewarding. Remember, all it takes is one small step after another. You're already walking in life. Why not walk in a different way? Walk in a manner where you truly know that you are walking with life. The ray of self-control, dictionary.com. Control or restraint of oneself or one's actions, feeling, etc. A person who learns the ray of self-control and puts it to use is truly a wise person. The hardest thing in the universe for a human being to learn is self-control. Most people think that they are in control of their lives, but if they stop and think, most of the times we are reactive beings. We react to what their external environment gives us. A person who is in self-control is one who stands in the center of the hurricane. The winds of the mind do not touch that being. Most of us are swept away by the winds. Throughout time, we have been told that by mastering our mind, we master life. The most difficult thing is self-control. Many people think that meditation is so simple that anyone can do it. They are correct. Yet when you sit down and focus on your breath, you will see that the mind acts up. It will conjure up all sorts of things for you to think about. Through time and self-control, one begins to break through this fog. Many people are fascinated by the martial arts. They love to watch it at the movies. Yet in order to be good at it, it takes a tremendous amount of self-control, not only physically, but mentally. Most martial artists that I have met never want to fight. They truly want peace. Fighting and defending themselves is the last resort. A good martial artist usually is good-natured. Through practice and self-control, he or she has reached a state where they have entered into a state of peace. Their mind and body is in harmony. They are in a great physical, mental, and emotional state. In this state of awareness, they are truly, totally comfortable with their divine aspect. If confrontation occurs, they will use words of kindness and compassion. Each person who learns self-control has to take the same baby steps that you and I take. Nobody gets a free ride. We must all learn to control our emotions and impulses. Most of the world wars are caused by this. How many of the great teachers in the past have talked about putting into practice the art of self-control? We can control our life. Daily, we can take baby steps and start paying attention. Daily, we can enter into the law of silence and begin to tame our mind and emotions. Each one of these divine laws will help you to have self-control in your life. This is truly the goal of life, to master yourself. It is exciting. Each one of us can do it. Each one of us has to overcome the lack of self-control that we have. Many people think, I have self-control. You do, yet it can be there at a deeper level. I'm sure even the Dalai Lama practices self-control in each and every day of his life. Until a person enlightens, we will constantly learn self-control. This, for me, is an incredible game of life. We all deck cards in our life, and through self-control, we can learn how to master this game. It's an internal game. No one can play it for you, but help and support is on the way. This is the game of life. The more you partake in this inner discovery, the more your life will be practical and down to earth. You will emanate a source and happiness around you. Your personal obstacles and excess baggage will lighten, literally. So this is an incredible game. We must take a conscious decision to change day by day. Learning self-control is a moment-by-moment, year-after-year decision to improve your life at all levels. You will stumble and fall. If this is a video game, it will be the most challenging and the most rewarding. You would win the game of life. Through this video game, you would see that both internally and externally, your life will begin to change. So embrace the art of self-control in your life. Learn ways how to control your mind and emotions. If anger comes up to you and you are justified, just let it go and gather up strength to have a true smile on your face. Contemplate in the eyes of the universe. Is it worth to get mad? This is such a minute entry in time. Why should I bother to pay any attention on this matter? You can diffuse your own time bomb. In the course of practicing, many will blow up in your face. But when you do succeed, even just once, you will have the effect that takes hold. Remember, it's not stuffing your emotions, but it's learning how to transform them. It really is divine alchemy. It's transforming negativity into something that is positive. This is magic at its finest. A magician may pull a rabbit out of a hat, yet a true magician pulls peace and happiness out of a negative situation that literally transforms the situation. These are just a few things that come up to the surface about self-control. In each and every moment, you can learn how to control yourself, whether it's at home or the workplace. You can learn how to control not only your words, but your actions. One can learn how to train the body, mind, and emotions to be a true expression of what life can be. You are truly the artist creating yourself. Your life is the canvas. Through your thinking and your emotions and actions will reflect your present-day creation for the world to see. When we see that each of us has been given the canvas of life and free will to create whatever we want to make life exciting, we can learn to become masters, artists of our own creation. Each one of us has a unique piece of the puzzle. Only you can contribute your piece of the puzzle. Learning self-control is the way. A wise man understands that life is like a video game. Even a child learns self-control playing the game. As we learn more, we go to the next level, and the game becomes more challenging. We start to master the game of self-control. Over time, our bottle is forgotten in the gutter. We are at another level of life where we dine in a divine manner. Each of us can learn self-control. You can master a game called life. the ray of non-attachment. We come into this world empty-handed, and we leave this world empty-handed. The ray of non-attachment helps us not to get frustrated by life's events and our own personal attachments. During the course of our life, we become attached to our car, our house, our job, our riches. Whatever our mind is attached to, when this thing gets taken away from us, it causes suffering. Everything in life is an impermanent. Nothing external is changeless. Everything created ultimately goes back to the source. Many of our sufferings are holding on to an idea or concept or object, and when something goes not according to plan, we hold on. We then become disappointed or sad that things in life don't go according to plan. The ray of non-attachment allows us to have life live freely without being tied down by our own attachments. Through the law of silence, we enter into a state of awareness that is, was, and will always be. Over time, one by one, our attachments start dissolving one by one. It's much like a sugar cube being dissolved by water. All the great books of the past have taught us about the importance of being non-attached in one's life. Yet what kind of training have we gone through to help us become non-attached? Once again, if we conquer our mind, we have conquered the world. Meditation and contemplation is the means to slowly melt into the source of all life. Over time, this awareness begins to infiltrate into our daily lives. We are more carefree and relaxed. We can accomplish more than others because the mind is sharp as a laser. When we are attracted to people, places, and things, our mind is hopping from one thing to another. We are restless. We are at unease. Our mind wanders. We have difficulty to control our mind and thoughts. The wise person spends their life solving this mystery and actively begins to take the course of actions to enhance one's life. This ray of non-attachment is applicable not only to our world, but to our inner world. We can hold on to our experience. It's like holding on to sand in your hand. It will slowly slip away. All our disappointments and sufferings are mostly from our attachments to life. Our mind thinks that by attaching itself to something, it will become happy. Yet this is never the case. The foundation of Buddhism clearly talks in fine detail in more precise ways what happens when we become detached. They are much more eloquent than I am. These are plenty incredible books talking about the destructive nature of being attached. By being aware of this ray and entering into the silence, we begin to train ourselves not to become attached. When we do, and we do suffer, we can remind ourselves that everything in life is impermanent. We can, day by day, train ourselves to see what is changeless, boundless, and never dies. This is our true nature. The source lies within. By connecting to your true nature every day and over time, moment by moment, you will see and comprehend these words. It is a state of awareness that comes from within, and they become a reality in your everyday life. Okay, of course, it takes time. This is a maturing process. But by being aware and focused on your inner nature, you will grow day by day. You have infinite potential. By being non-attached doesn't mean that you can't truly enjoy this life. As a matter of fact, you will enjoy this life to the fullest because you will be vibrating with life itself. Your mind, body, and emotions will be in tune and in harmony of who you truly are. You will truly become free. Of course, you will still have off days. You will still have lessons to learn. I have not mastered myself, but even in my present state, I rejoice in being alive. Life is a grand adventure, and I'm happy learning and growing. I'm so grateful to be aware and conscious that these gifts lay inside of my being. There are years for the asking. This life we live is a great series of lessons where we can learn to master. Life is the highest education. There's so much to learn. We can't even hold on to our spiritual experience. If we do, we will be disappointed. Life teaches us to hold on to your divine essence. If you hold on to anything else, you will become disappointed. Once we truly begin to understand that concept, we can start to implement the process of self-discovery. With our maturity growing, our understanding of this ray begins to grow more and more. We then can take off our painted glasses and see the world as a reflection of ourselves. It's amazing that our concepts and our attachments to this world is the source of our problems. Once we see the world with a new vision and you train your mind, your life becomes happier. I really don't understand why we don't teach these basic laws in our schools. Our nation and the world at large would be in such a better place. It seems like so much attention is put on what we do instead of who we truly are. All the latest technologies don't bring us any more happiness than what we had before, yet we want more and more. We think as a nation, as a whole, that material things will bring us joy. Last night, I saw a survey that only 12% of the people in this country enjoy their job. Something is wrong with our state of being. We need a new way. It's been there all the time. We have never been taught that common sense is uncommon. We think we have it all together. Yet the lies that are dictated by advertising and the media will never bring true happiness and joy. These ads for a new car will never give you true happiness. Your new car someday will be towed to the dump. Then, where will your happiness be? We need to look beyond the superficiality of our existence. You are truly divine. Your essence is boundless and changeless. Our present-day scientists know this, yet we can continue to live in a state of denial. This is not about becoming a monk or a priest. We are talking about discovering your true nature. In doing so, you will become free. Your life will be absolutely incredible. No words can describe it. This is your true nature. Through the law of non-attachment, you will become free. This is your true state. You are the bird in the cage. Open the door inside and become free again. Remember, only you have the piece of the puzzle. The world will be in a better place when you realize this. We are building sandcastles in the sky, yet we think that it is permanent. One day, the ocean of life will dissolve your precious sandcastle. What is the foundation that you are standing on? Is it a rock? Is it made of rock or of sand? Your happiness depends upon it. The ray of compassion. Now, a deep awareness of and sympathy for another's suffering. The human quality of understanding the suffering of others and wanting to do something about it. All the major religions talk about how important compassion is in our daily lives. All the great leaders have talked about compassion. Compassion is a quality that can be cultivated daily. A quality of life will be greatly enhanced, and the world around us would be if we embrace this ray. We are in some way or another suffer every day. Some people's sufferings are quite pronounced, such as acute illness like cancer. Some people are tormented by the mind they escape through drugs and alcohol. Each of us suffer in some way in our daily lives. Unfortunately, there are third world countries that don't even have the means to have proper water, food, and shelter. The average American would be horrified to live and see these conditions. In our country, there are people who have everything money can buy, yet their life is truly a sad story. Money can't buy you happiness. By acquiring all the latest toys won't alleviate suffering. Many times it will actually increase it. I'm not saying that money can't buy happiness and that it's evil, but I'm saying that unless we look at our lives on a daily basis and water our inner thoughts, we will put ourselves into areas which will be conducive to suffering. Throughout time, the world has seen many incredible human beings who had incredible awareness within themselves and of the human condition. They realize that every one of us suffers in some way, every single day of our lives. They realized this, and they discovered that there is a way for every human being on this planet to overcome suffering and become enlightened. These beings dedicated their entire life for helping humanity. They pledged to spread their entire existence to help every sentient being to return home and to help them overcome their suffering. Buddha was one of the first on this planet who became enlightened, and since then many others have become enlightened and helped others on this journey of life. It's up to each one of us to become better human beings and to develop compassion in our daily lives. Every one of us is so precious, and yet at times we don't truly see it. The ray of compassion can be brought out into our every single moment of our life. We can begin to radiate this just like the sun. Why does everyone love the Dalai Lama? He is such a bundle of joy and compassion. He has nothing to hide. He sees the suffering in this world, and in each and every moment, his actions are dictated by the act of compassion. He truly wants to help the world. Mother Teresa is another incredible example. She dedicated her entire life to help those in need in Calcutta, India. We all live our own lives, and we aren't the Dalai Lama or Mother Teresa, but we can display compassion daily in our lives. We can take a look when our children are going through rough times and give them a hug or encouragement. If our wife or husband is having difficulty going through something, we can support them with love. The more we pay attention and see what is going around us, and we see that each and every moment, it is a divine opportunity to cultivate compassion. Instead of putting gasoline on the fire, we can put precious raindrops on any situation. We can help reduce the suffering in people's lives. Many people think these are weak qualities, but true compassion is worth all the gold on earth. It's absolutely sacred and valuable. True strength comes from compassion. Anybody can get angry or pissed off. It takes a person of inner strength to overcome these negativities in their daily lives and to cultivate compassion. Imagine that everyone you meet is suffering in some major or minor way, even someone who has meditated for over 30 years. We can reduce the sufferings, but until a being fully enlightened, sufferings will be there. I experienced this myself, even in deep meditation. There's always a grain of suffering there. Our goal is to develop these divine qualities to such an extent we can truly become better human beings, and the world around us will change. Isn't it amazing that God, if you believe in God, or some other divine essence, doesn't dictate to us how to live? In order to have peace on earth, we must bring it. Nobody is going to save us. We can get help and inspiration, but it's up to each one of us individually to become better human beings. This is the way peace will happen on this planet. So I pray that each one of us will become aware of the suffering of others in each and every moment and want to do something about it. It can be something as simple as a smile. We don't have to save the world or renounce the world, and each of us in our own way can be more considerate of others and help someone who is suffering. We just have to become more aware. Many people don't wish to see suffering or talk about it. Many people put their backs into the sand and say, I don't see it. My life is going well. Until a person becomes enlightened, suffering will be knocking on your door. We can all help each other out and see that we are all on the same boat of existence. Life is an incredible journey, and we are all sailing back home. Let's rejoice and help out our fellow man on this journey. Let's help elevate the suffering, alleviate the sufferings in the third world countries. I'd love to see that Bill Gates has dedicated $365 million to help out farmers in Africa. So it's up to each and every one of us. Just a smile will do to help out tremendously to help others on the way. Dive into the infinite ocean of compassion and discover your true nature. Surfers ride the waves of the ocean, while a wise man rides the wave of compassion. Your entire existence is waiting for you to have this self-discovery. Compassion is your true nature. It takes time to learn how to surf, and it takes time to learn how to ride the waves of compassion. The more you surf, the better you will get. The world will rejoice when you do so. The ray of good-natured. Webster's Revised Unabridged Dictionary. Good-natured. Possessing desirable qualities adapted to answer the end designed, promoting success, welfare, or happiness. Serviceable, useful, fit, excellent, admirable, commendable, not bad, corrupt, evil, noxious, offensive, or troublesome. Everyone loves to be around someone who is good-natured. It's like basking in the sun and soaking up the rays. We all love to be around this person. Look at the Dalai Lama. Even if someone has no idea of what he preaches, when they see him in person, they are as happy to be in his presence. I haven't met anyone who doesn't feel this way. They may not understand Buddhism, but everyone knows a person who is good-natured. We don't have to ask ourselves. We experience the warmth, just like being in the sun. These are incredible qualities: kind, benevolent, humane, merciful, gracious, polite, friendly, and well-disposed. Each one of us has these divine qualities to some extent. When we were young, we worked these qualities, yet over time, we slowly lost touch and we became more embittered in our daily life. Most of us prefer to become sour instead of sweet. Many of us talk constantly about the sour grapes life has given us. We all have hardships in life, but a good-natured person will make wine out of sour grapes. They know that everything must pass. Nothing will go on forever in terms of hardships. A good-natured person will be good-natured in all times, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Life is not always fair, and a good-natured person understands that. They have developed such a strong essence of character, they understand that nothing can take away their true character except for themselves. Nobody can steal your character. No matter what goes on outside, nobody can take it. A good-natured person understands this and sees that life is an incredible journey, and each and every moment is precious. They realize that one can truly go into deep and deeper levels inside and cultivate more of these qualities. It's like having a well that is infinite. We can always improve, and it's a joy to develop these qualities. Everyone will love to be around you. In your workplace, people will love to work with you. They won't have to worry that you will gossip behind their backs or complain constantly about your problems. Even a good-natured person has problems. They can get laid off. They don't have any more privileges than you do. Yet a good-natured person probably gets the job done faster and is more efficient. They won't be looking at their watch every hour and counting down the minutes. And in fact, time flies literally. When you are in joy, time flies. So how do we acquire these qualities and become more good-natured? Fortunately, they have never left us. The clouds just simply cover them. It helps to daily enter the law of silence, meditation. Meditation brings us to a state where we once again connect ourselves to our true existence. We are good-natured. We have simply let life and its hardships to become more edgy in life. Slowly over time, we have forgotten our true nature. We are all good, every single one of us. Every one of us has made minor or serious mistakes in life. The goal is to overcome our mistakes and on a conscious level make decisions to improve the quality of life. Meditation brings these precious gifts back to the surface, and we once again see the joy in each and every moment. Granted, it takes time, but time is going on, whether you like it or not. Everything takes effort. So our essence is good nature. By meditating daily, we once again experience that joy, that gracious, polite, benevolent being that we are. And now is the time to express these qualities in our everyday life experience. This is where all begins. This is where transformation truly occurs. Meditation is not some drug that you take to drop out of society. Meditation helps you to get connected to your true nature and then take that experience and integrate it into your daily life. It is extremely practical. Many people think that if a person meditates, she is escaping life, but in reality, it's embracing life. You begin to discover that we are all born of the same qualities of life. There is a thread of love tying us all together. A good-natured person reflects these qualities and embraces them on a daily basis. When we connect to our true essence, how can we not be happy and good natured? No wonder the world at large has lost these precious qualities because we have forgotten who we truly are. Life has dealt us a bunch of cards that we don't like. We don't like to commute every day and work in some office. We are constantly struggling, yet meditation brings one to the center of the hurricane, and we experience a tremendous calm in our daily life. We experience a fresh breeze that refreshes ourselves in the midst of the desert. So the combination of meditation, of being aware in your daily life of the actions and how you talk to others will help to remember your good nature. We can rediscover our true nature, just as we can improve our skills at any sport by practicing. We can practice our skills of life. Each and every moment we can bring out the best in us. We can let go of the garbage. We can be in a state where we have nothing to prove. We don't have to defend ourselves whether we are right and they are wrong. We can simply smile. A good-natured person does. A good-natured person is a good friend to have. It doesn't complain what's going on. He doesn't gossip behind your back. No matter what life punches, he sees it as a game. He enjoys the video game of life with all its challenges. He is on to a different level. A good-natured person smiles at trouble, for he has heaven in his pocket. We are all good, but have clouds covered within. Remove these clouds, and you will discover your true nature. The ray of forgiveness. The act of forgiving, state of being forgiven. Disposition or willingness to forgive. Compassionate feelings that support a willingness to forgive. The act of exercising our state or offense. We live in a world where every day the world makes mistakes. Nobody on this planet is perfect. We all make mistakes. Some are small, and some are quite serious. Nobody gets the free ride. Even the great prophets of old made mistakes. From the time we were born, we have made mistakes, and people have made mistakes towards us. If we could, we would love to go back to the past and correct the misdoings that we have done upon others. But unfortunately, we can't. This is where the ray of forgiveness comes in. We need to forgive everyone who has ever done us any harm or hurt us in any way. As human beings, we get hurt by someone, and then we hold on to that and create resentment, anger, or we stuff it inside. Consequently, we get hurt and harmed twice. We hold on to the event years later. This causes us to hold inside of being a tremendous amount of negative weight. The ray of forgiveness is the willingness to forgive a person so we can release it from our being. It's not saying that what the person did was acceptable, but by forgiving that person, we clear up the negative debris inside of our being. In essence, we become free. All the great scriptures talk about forgiveness. It is the way to drop our internal baggage and excess weight that we carry. We also have to forgive ourselves. We all made mistakes and hurt someone on this journey of life. We have made bad decisions that have affected our body and mind. We have been unkind to our children. We have been in anger and rage. We have lost control of ourselves. Each one of us made a mess of ourselves. Yet no matter what you have done, you must forgive yourself and forgive all others. This is a golden law. If you do this, your life will be better. When I was young, I read a book about Milarepa, who is Tibet's greatest yogi. When he was young, his uncle took his family, fortune, and enslaved Milarepa. Over time, Milarepa became extremely angry and wanted revenge. So he began to study with a dark sorcerer. Over time, he learned how to control nature and the brain. He sent a huge storm and caused hail to fall from the sky. The storm was so powerful that he killed his uncle and his extended family. Well, to make a long story short, he meets a great teacher, and this teacher showed him his wrongdoings and the consequences of his actions. He went through a spiritual awakening and forgave his uncle and himself. Over time, he turned into Tibet's greatest yogi. Even hundreds of years later, his legend and his teachings are still around. He developed a Buddhist lineage, which is one of the four lineages in Tibetan Buddhism that exists in the world today. So we must all forgive. We must forgive our leaders. We must forgive President Bush and his cabinet. We must forgive anybody who has harmed us. Spend some time every day when you can start from your birth and try to trace your history and see where you need to forgive others and where you need to forgive yourself. You're cleaning out your closet and getting rid of things that you don't need. Personally, I did this and was quite amazed at how many people and circumstances need to be forgiven. It was probably in the hundreds. Many people probably think, why do I need to forgive? I don't want to. What that person did to me was totally unacceptable. I'm justified for what I feel. That's true. That person did something that was totally unacceptable. You are justified. Yet by feeling and acting justified, you then are the judge of life. Justification is so far from the truth, it's totally ridiculous. It will hold you and bind you. You will never see the light of day if you think you are justified. You will remain in the dark. We want to get rid of the chains that are tying us. We want to get out of the dungeon. If there's a dark side, it uses justification as a means where you feel I'm right to be justified, yet at the same time it will bind us further in chains. This is why in all great spiritual books they teach you that you must forgive. In order for the law of attraction to work for your benefit, you must forgive yourself and all others. This is crucial. We talk about the law of self-improvement. Without forgiveness, you are missing the boat. Many people struggle in life and are extremely angry because they can't forgive. They feel they are 100% justified in their thinking and actions. How many families are broken up because of some misunderstanding or error in judgment? Your will improve once you tap in and start the forgiving process. Remember, you are not saying it was okay for you to do this to me. What you are saying is, I forgive you. Just by saying that you have started the healing process, you will let go of the excess baggage that is holding you down. I feel that is truly is God's gift to humanity, the ray of forgiveness. We all make mistakes. This journey of life is learned through many lessons. Not one person comes into this world and is perfect. Even Christ and Buddha made mistakes and asked for forgiveness. And they asked for forgiveness, so can we. This ray is probably one of the most dramatic rays for us. For without forgiveness, you feel justified. By being justified, you walked away from the light and placed yourself in chains. It's easy and simple as that. We don't even know what we're doing. No wonder the world is such in a sad state. How many wars has started because we felt justified? Look at the current war we are seeing and the results of our actions. Once again, forgive our political leaders who declared war. Forgive the soldiers for being there. Forgive the terrorists. Pray that this world will see that peace is the way. Focus on peace through the power of visualization. Image that soldiers all around the world are dropping their weapons and going home to their families. So as I'm writing this book, I see this part of the book is so important. Learn to forgive and learn why you need to forgive. Why hold on to something that does not serve you, but holds you back from the experience of happiness and joy? I look at the Dalai Lama, who was forced out of his country by the Chinese government. I read his book, and he said it was totally a blessing in disguise. If this never happened, he never forgave the Chinese, the Western world, for never seeing or heard from him. He saw that through forgiveness, his mission of helping humanity is coming to fruition each day. He is not trying to convert people to his faith, but in essence, remind us of our true nature. We are all human beings. This is a human race. We all make mistakes. Let's forgive and go on and make this world a better place. Life is a journey, and we are walking every day. In this journey of life, we pick up things on the way. We have fought and called each other's names, and consequently carry the burden. At times, we are totally innocent, yet someone puts us in harm's way. To truly live, we must forgive ourselves and all others. By doing so, the junk they are holding onto will slowly disappear. Forgiveness will lighten up your life and will be a beacon to show you the way. The law of laughter. Recently, I was flipping channels on the TV, and a documentary on the Sundance Channel was on. This documentary was focused on Mike Myers, who is famous for his Austin Powers movie and Deepak Chopra. They were discussing the similarity of comedy and the quest for life. Both of these have a point in time where one becomes enlightened or understanding is gained. When a joke is told, there's tension in the air. As the story unfolds, it builds and builds with anticipation. At the height of suspense, the punchline is told. The energy of realization is transmuted to the audience, and they themselves understand the joke, and waves of laughter occur. This audience all laughs, ha ha ha. Attention has been released. Maybe it's a political joke. Comedy as a means to laugh at any given station and situation and bring us a state of awareness. In the same matter, the Zen Buddhists have koans, which are life word puzzles. To the ordinary person, it does not make any sense. Like, what is the sound of one hand clapping? But through their meditations, they reach a level where they understand the koan, and an aha experience occurs. This is similar to understanding a joke, but at a deeper level. This is internal comedy which leads to enlightenment. Both of these are critical and crucial for our everyday life. Laughter is indeed the best medicine. I'm sure many people know of Norman Cousins when he got cancer, that he watched all different sorts of comedies for over a month. Laughter on a daily basis will heal us. He used laughter to heal his cancer. There is a theory that cancer are angry cells, but by being aware of laughter, we can heal. Laughter can transform energy cells into happy and healthy cells. The Taoists have a meditation techniques where they imagine certain parts of the body to be a huge smile. They smile from the pelvic area all the way across. They smile from the stomach area all the way across. They smile at the rib cage all the way across. They smile from the mouth. They smile from their eyes. They smile from their forehead. By doing this at a daily basis and paying attention to the laws of health, they keep disease at bay. The Taoists have been known for the remarkable long lifespan. Truly, laughter breaks up any emotional residue. This residue may be released from our mind and bodies. God gave us a natural release mechanism called laughter. Many people are so serious in life, they become emotionally constipated. They lose the joy and the true meaning of life. We are born into this world as it was a setup by learning from your mistakes. There is no other way to learn. So God gave us and all beings laughter. We can laugh at ourselves and the world at large. Life is truly a joke. There is a punchline called enlightenment where everything makes sense. Have you seen the Tibetan Buddhists? They are a group of beings who truly know how to laugh. Look at the Dalai Lama. He laughs at his own mistakes. This is how we learn. If we get down on ourselves, it doesn't help in any way or what way whatsoever. It's like putting chains on us. Laughter is truly a divine gift. Even if you don't believe in God, it will enhance your life. The Buddhists don't believe in God, but look at their emotional life. It is based upon happiness and joy. So you can learn to use the law of happiness in your daily life. Look at situations where a difficult position comes your way. Use the power of laughter to see the clarity of the situation and blast away the negativity. You can see through different eyes. Laughter is the key. Laughter can be one whole experience and one whole experience. Both of them lead to the same door. Laughter opens the door to creativity, where you can totally transform yourself in any given situation. By being open to creativity, you can learn how to dance with life. No matter what obstacle comes your way, you can dance around it. The Indians uphold Lord Shiva as the Lord of dance, the Lord of life and death, the Lord of transformation. Each one of us die every day and are reborn every day. What I mean that by dying, when we lose perspective and get so involved in the world, a part of us dies. We forget our true nature. Every night we return to the source. We get charged from the source of life, and in the morning we wake up. In the same manner, we consciously wake up constantly and be aware of the process. These tools will help and assist you in this manner. You can die from your past conditions and be born into the great laws of life. This is awareness coming to your forefront. As you can see, we use laughter along the way. We can laugh with life. The best teachers I've ever had used laughter as a means to learn. How many times have you heard a boring lecture? Can we truly learn? Yes, you can, but it's difficult. Yet a teacher who can teach with humor and laughter truly can deliver the message and understanding. A boring lecture speaks to the mind. A fun-filled humor talk full of humor will affect the mind and heart. It will go directly to the soul. This is where laughter can be used. My daughter is in the first year of college and she sees how laughter from the teachers and lack of determines the quality of the lecture. Laughter enhances the situation. Personally, I think all teachers should be required to learn how to use laughter in their teachings. It would certainly improve our educational system. Just that one idea alone. How many young kids are turned off to education and learning because of a boring teacher? Life is not boring. If your teaching style is boring, you're doing a great disservice to your students. You need to lighten up. Get a little wild with life. Do something different. Break through your boring ideas. No wonder so many kids are frustrated with the whole education system. It needs to be transformed. Each and every part of society can be enhanced with laughter. We need to learn how to use laughter with our political systems, our social systems, our education systems, our religious systems, and our business systems. Laughter is the means to understand life. Practical actions. Learn how to laugh at yourself. Laugh at obstacles and problems. Watch comedies instead of violent movies. Practice the Taoist smile meditation, even for just 1 minute. Learn to laugh like when you were a child. Reclaim your innocence. Get rid of your hard-edged mind. Look at children for examples of laughter. Don't take anything too seriously. The law of prayer, the law of gratitude, the law of devotion. Most people agree that there is something greater than them that created everything, that keeps everything alive. Some essence, creator, whether you call it God, Allah, existence, or however you chose to see this in your life. The law of prayer allows one to establish a direct phone conversation with this creator. In this state, you primarily talk and they listen. Prayer has been used as such an incredible tool for time immemorial. How can one talk about the glorious connection between ourselves and the heavenly realms? The more one prays, and the more we put into practice the sacred wisdom, the more the law of prayer becomes a part of your life. Your life becomes a sacred prayer. In this state, one desires for the love, compassion, and happiness for every living being. One's heart is open and begins to pray for all life, for all beings to truly be happy and cared for. Each and every moment is a precious prayer. This is a state of awareness. Praying keeps one humble and focused on the path. It keeps us simple. By praying, it puts us into our childlike innocence of life. We see through the eyes of a child. We become innocent and pure. This is the power of prayer. Miracles do happen all the time. I have seen hundreds of prayers being answered, especially when a group has focused on a certain person or event. Our thoughts of kindness and helping out are carried throughout the world. Kindness is truly the answer on this planet. We all pray in different ways and in different manners, but it's all the same. It's time for us to see that everyone on this planet wants to be happy. Everyone wants a family, a home, and food on the table. Nobody truly wants to fight and experience pain. It's time for us to put down our arms and embrace our fellow man. This time is now. I know I'm not alone in this. There are millions of people just like you and me praying for peace on earth. It will happen, no doubt about it. Each and every day, we're helping the world through our prayers and our daily practice. Each religion prays in a different way, but the essence is the same. We all want heaven on earth. We all want this world to truly live in peace. The law of prayer is a way to directly change the course of events in our own personal lives and the world around us, but also the world at large. By our thinking and our convictions through prayer, we can change this world. Over time, we began to see that through action and going through the 4 worlds of creation, our prayers are being answered. We can literally change this world step by step, day by day, year by year. We can influence the leaders all around the world by praying for peace, by praying that they may understand that peace is the way, peace is the solution, peace is what the world needs. How incredible through the internet the prayers of peace are broadcast around the world. Prayer is the means to communicate what we need, and the power of silence will answer our prayers. We are all so precious. There was a time I didn't see the importance of prayer. I really didn't see the value of it. I wasn't brought up in that environment. But over time, when I started to learn how to meditate, I began to see what a golden opportunity we have. The law of prayer allows us through words to express ourselves to our Divine Mother and Father. It is a precious communication to talk directly to the source of life and express gratitude. For those who are suffering, it brings comfort to ourselves, knowing that someone truly cares for us and wants us to be happy and content. Our prayers truly do get answered, but at times we don't understand. Every day I wake up to thank my Creator for giving me another day to experience life to its fullest. The law of prayer has empowered my life and made me much more compassionate and caring on a day-to-day level. I am grateful to be alive. The more I pray, I realize that the entire creation prays on some deep level. There will never be a time when one stops praying. Even the angels and archangels pray. The law of prayer exists in all life. Life is grateful to be alive. Prayer is part of nature. Nature always is evolving and learning. Nature prays to the Creator for the ever unfolding and discovery of life. This process has been unfolding forever. The world will be in a better place if every day we stop even for a moment to pray and cultivate kindness and love for one another. Each of us prays in our own individual ways. Let's honor all religions and traditions. It is time to see the diversity of all life and see that what your neighbor is praying for is probably the same. Our nations around the world pray for peace. Let's bring a unified state of awareness on this planet that peace is the way. The law of prayer and the law of manifest destiny must work together in order to have most of your prayers answered. In praying, you ask for something to the divine. In order for it to manifest, the law of manifest destiny must be fulfilled. This is why it's extremely important to understand these sacred laws. Only by changing your subconscious mind and performing right actions can your prayers be fulfilled. Prayers aren't like rubbing a bottle and a genie will appear. You must ask and then go through the process of idea, thought plan, and action to make your prayers come true. It's a day-by-day process of refining yourself to these sacred laws. Most people complain that their prayers don't come true, yet what they've done to help them succeed. There's a process that must take place. By waiting around for a prayer to be answered will never help matters. You must have the conviction to ask and then make the appropriate actions in your life by following the law of manifestation. If you are praying for help for yourself or someone else, then take steps to assist in the healing. An angel may show up to assist in a miraculous healing of someone. Another may manifest the perfect doctor to help them heal. Also pray for those who are helping with the healing process, including the doctors or surgeons, to receive the greatest guidance and to have the surest hands for healing. If you want and pray for world peace, then turn your life around and make a peace reality in your life. We must have peace in our own hearts and our own lives in order to spread it outward to others. Live your life in a day-to-day manner when you spread peace and kindness throughout your daily life. As the Dalai Lama said, kindness is my religion. If each and every one of us took this responsibility personally and not waited for our political institutions to develop a plan for world peace, we would have greater world peace. Peace has to come from within. Peace in experience, which must be cultivated. Peace is infinite. So I hope that you have a better understanding of the law of prayer and how you need to take proper actions. When I was a child, I never learned this. I never learned this in Sunday school. I was taught to pray, but I never knew how the law of prayer operated. Most of our prayers don't manifest because we don't know these sacred laws. No wonder people have a tendency to give up. So much of the time we pray and nothing happens. Well, now is the time to utilize these laws in your life for your own betterment and the world around you. It truly is the time to transform yourself. You don't have to believe in God to change. These are natural laws which exist between time and space in the seen and unseen world. A person doesn't have to follow a certain religion for these laws are beyond our religion. This is the building blocks of life. Hopefully, this gives you a greater understanding of the law of prayer. Barbara. As a child, Barbara was raised in a family environment steeped in religion and prayer. My grandmother would go to a church at least once or twice a day and pray the rosary every night. Seeing her devotion from an early age, I also learned to have my own direct devotional connection with God. When I pray sincerely, intently, and humbly, I would feel the sense of peace and love come over me. I assumed it was God. Devotion became a way of life for me. Somewhere along the way, I discovered that one could actually think your whole life as a prayer of gratitude. You can allow yourself to see the beauty in life. Even taking a walk in nature, you can allow yourself to see the magnificent diversity and variety of life and be grateful to the Creator of life for such beauty. Prayer can become as simple as being thankful for every breath you breathe. Practical actions. Pray every day. It doesn't matter if you believe in God or not. Your subconscious mind will pick it up. Praying allows you to go to the next level in the video game of life. Remember, through prayer, you pray and God listens. Meditate daily. In this silent, God talks while you listen. Remember, when you pray, you must take action. Check out the law of manifestation again. Daily, take out the negative weeds that are growing. Forgive yourself and all others. Pray that you truly are a piece of the puzzle. You want the very best for yourself and the world. Pray daily for those who need help in any way. We are on the same boat of life. Put your prayers into action. Always give gratitude. Be thankful for what you have and receive. Count your blessings. Pray for guidance every day. May the wicked become good. May the good obtain peace. May the peaceful be free from bonds. May the free set others free. Prayer of a Bodhisattva. What is the purpose of life? Is it to eat, drink, and be merry? There's nothing wrong with that. But what is the purpose? Does life have meaning? Or do we just live a 9-to-5 existence? Does life only begin and end on the weekends? Do we work just to make money? Can money buy happiness? Are we lost or are we found? Is life an event? Or do we just live in a random cycle of events? The wise man says, first understand what life is, and then you will understand everything.